Pain is Love by Ja Rule. Ja Rule's third album, Pain is Love, was released in 2001. The album spawned 4 very successful singles, award nominations, as well as putting Ja Rule on the worldwide stage as one of the biggest artists in the world. With 20 years behind the album, how does it hold up today? How do we feel about it? Here's an honest review of Pain is Love by Ja Rule.
Pain is Love by Ja Rule, man. Pain is Love by Ja Rule, man. When I sent you this, your response was, "Oh God." I just want to understand what was the "oh God" for?
Listen, man. 20 years ago, I was 13. I was not listening to Ja Rule. I heard the singles, and everything like that. But I was not listening to a full released album all the way through Ja Rule.
So you was not a 13-year-old running around here like,
hell no.
What would I be without my baby?
No. I wasn't out here screaming murder and nothing like that. Okay?
I was. Shit. Everybody I knew was screaming murder.
I knew people of people, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Bang Bang, you was running around here screaming murder? Ja Rule is the shit, bro. I don't care what nobody say. 50 Cent ain't gonna change my mind. Power is fire still. Anyway, Pain is Love, man. How you feel about this album artwork?
I laughed because it's just back to the that's not even a do-rag. That's like a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the t-shirt era, like on your head. So definitely a blast from the past, and just a reminder, I'm getting old. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, Jadakiss, he had a napkin.
You are so right.
Tied a napkin around his head.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, was Joel Santana was doing unique stuff like that.
Bandanas.
Too, with bandanas.
Yeah, and all that.
And napkins as well. And like people were finding different ways to wrap their head. So shout out for being cool. You never just poured a whole bunch of water on a shirt and just wrapped it around your head?
Nah. Mm-mm.
Oh, you wasn't. It don't get that hot up there, did you? Do it.
It gets hot in the summer.
Like 100 degrees?
Every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah. We have our hot days.
I've done it maybe once when it's like super hot. You just dunk the shirt in water and just wrap it.
Nah, I just go inside, get some AC.
But all the old cats was doing
or
it. Or
jump in the pool.
I guess that works too. Yeah, man. I love this shot, man. I love the Pain is Love tattoo. It actually makes a lot of sense, especially when you have heard Ja talk about it and listen to Ja throughout his career. It just makes sense, man. The flow of this project, man. If you've listened to a Ja Rule album before, you kind of know what to expect. The first album, he felt like he took away from women so much. The second and third album, he wanted to get back to them. So he started making songs, kind of, submitting to women vocally on the songs. And this was one of those projects, and this was probably his most successful album, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yeah,
quadruple platinum, I believe.
Oh, really? Oh, that's nice.
Ja Rule used to move records, bro. Don't sleep. He ran the game for a couple years.
Sleeping. I just wasn't one of the ones moving his records. Like I said,
murder.
Yeah, man. The flow is Ja Rule.
The flow is Ja Rule.
Yes.
Highlights, man. Look, so there's a lot to talk about here. First of all, I love the dial-in for Murders. It kind of just sets the tone. And then that goes, just first of all, I don't know if that's Ashanti hitting that note or not. I feel like it was Ashanti that's hitting the murder note. But either way, it sounds absolutely amazing, man. Shout out to Irv Gotti and Seven Aurelius for producing the song. It doesn't say who sung the murder in the background, but you got something special when all rappers use it after you say it. Like Beanie Siegel used it, Cameron used it, like they used a lot of the themes that Ja used in that song, killing it. Living It Up when it came out, man, I just remember everybody was living it up, man. Everybody was out here singing, doing the dance.
Every damn day.
Every day. You know what I'm saying? Always on Time featuring Ashanti. Come on, bro. Come on. Everybody was singing this to their girl or their guy. This was the perfect excuse for not answering your phone when people called. Like, this is right around the time when cell phones just started rolling out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was starting to become...
voicemails, all with this on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always on Time was the shit. And then the music video, too. Can't even talk about it. Down ass bitch, baby, say yeah. Like, bro, come on. Let's not play. Everybody was riding around singing this shit, yo. And then you had, look, it's so crazy because when you look at the Apple Music, that shit don't say featuring Charlie Baltimore. It says featuring Chuck. I was like, so this must be somebody not educated that wrote this. You can look it up. But it says Down Ass Bitch featuring Chuck. I was just like, so whoever wrote that don't know who Charlie B. Moore is.
It does say Chuck. Wow.
Yes. Because I was just like, just because at the end of her verse she says Chuck, that somebody was probably like, yo, Chuck. It's featuring Chuck. No, that was Charlie Baltimore. Their energy on that was fire. And then not only that, they followed that with Down Ass Bitch not too long after that. Anyway, love that song, man. I actually love Never Again a lot. I mean, I don't know what everybody else feels about this record, but this is a record that I've always listened to over and over again. I'm Real featuring J-Lo. If y'all guys don't know, Ja Rule wrote that whole record from beginning to end. Actually, Ashanti sung it with him, and Irv Gotti said he was trying to fuck J-Lo, so he gave the record to her.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think it was on Drink Champs. If it wasn't on Drink Champs, Ashanti said it on a Breakfast Club interview. One of the two said it.
Very blunt.
Yeah. So you can actually hear Ashanti singing on the hook.
I've heard it.
Blended with J-Lo's voice.
I've heard
Ashanti,
wasn't there another version? Right?
It was
I
her
heard,
song.
I swear
it was
I heard
supposed to be her song.
Okay.
Yeah, she was kind of upset about that. So was Ain't It Funny. Anyway. That song is out. That song is crazy. It was on the Billboard charts for a minute. Everybody was running around here singing They Was Real. People was mad at J-Lo for saying nigga in the record for a little bit, and then they forgot, moved on. You know how it goes. Smoking and Riding featuring Jody Mack. I actually love the vibe of this song, man. It do sound like some Ja Rule, Vin Diesel shit, because Vin Diesel was in the studio when he recorded it. He says it at the beginning. He said, my nigga Vin Diesel up in here. You know what I'm saying? It's got that Vin Diesel energy. I could hear that song on the Fast and Furious soundtrack. It's funny, when I was young, I didn't like X featuring Missy and Tweet, but I actually like it. Listening to it again, it was crazy. So Much Pain. Man, when this song came up, it reminded me of I tie most of my memories to music, like what was playing at the time. And like, it just reminded me of my older brother. I remember when I went to the store with him to pick this album up, and the song came on, and he immediately got mad. Like, man, he ripping my nigga Tupac off. Yo, if he ain't got a Tupac verse on this shit, it's a rap. And Tupac verse came off, and he just started spazzing. Like, he was screaming, yelling. He started speeding.
We got hype.
Bruh, he got super amped, man. It was funny because I was just like, man, the song reminded me of that. That's dope, man. So rest in peace, my brother. And Pain is Love, absolutely love that record as well. It's just got a cool vibe to it. The beat, it just reminds you of that Irv Gotti, Seven Aurelius, Little Rob sound that you're familiar with if you've listened to Ja Rule his whole career. So
nice. I ain't got that much to say. I'm just gonna keep it real. You said a lot, but you know, the singles on here is what is like most fun for me, just because like, even though I wasn't a big fan, the singles was hard. Like, that's one thing I can never knock about Ja. Whatever singles he put out was instant radio hits. Everybody knew everything word for word. But listening to this album, it's I don't know, maybe it's just because I wasn't of the time frame of that. But my highlight is mostly those. Let me go straight into my lowlights.
damn.
What is up with your man on these skits? That Leo skit was horrible. Him trying to be like Miss Cleo. If he was trying to be funny, it wasn't funny.
It was funny back then. It was funny back then.
I mean, the concept of it was funny. I think it was just his acting and everything like that. Some of the content in here just not like everything, like other than the singles and maybe X and So Much Pain. I really didn't care for what he was rapping about or what anybody else was rapping about. Now, I guess a highlight would be like, you know, the cadence and the flows and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I just didn't care for much of what he was talking about. So that's just me, you know. I mean, I like what he got with the sound. Some of the production was hitting and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I don't give a damn about what Ja Rule was talking about, unless he's talking about him in a relationship with somebody else. But other than that, that's it.
Wow. Old heads get them. Anyway, lowlights, man. Look, if I had to say anything, look, Ja's skits have always been questionably funny. Like, I feel like if you're gonna go off of Ja's skits, his best skits was on the very, very first album.
I think we talked about that too.
His skits on there were good. The second album, the skits are out of place. He even has a skit that follows a skit. It's just like, bruh. I mean, you think those are bad? Listen to Rough Rider skits. They never make any sense. Somebody always dies for no reason. For no reason. One of them, they threw somebody off a roof. Anyway, yeah, you think Ja's skits is bad? Shit, listen to a Rough Rider album. But yeah, aside from that, like Worldwide Gangsta, I actually like some of the verses on here. Some of the verses I don't like. I do want to point out, it's funny to hear Boo and Gotti. I completely forget about Boo and Gotti. If y'all don't know this little story behind Boo and Gotti, they was actually signed to R. Kelly. R. Kelly had signed him to his record label, Rockland Records. But he never really did anything with it, which makes sense because if he did, he wouldn't have been able to make all the hits he was making for his goddamn self. So he never did anything with him, and then they ended up working with Irv. They ended up signing to Cash Money. They was on that joint, The Big Timers. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, everybody remembers that. Daddy. And, but they had a cool verse on there. But I always usually lean on Ja when it comes to Ja's albums. He's usually the most consistent person on there. Even though I do like Black Child, he's just too murderous for me now. You know, I got kids. I ain't trying to hear all that shit. But back then, I don't know why my parents let me listen to that shit. I was tripping. Y'all was tripping, man. That's it for Low Lights. Final thoughts, man. Look, I think Ja Rule is actually one of the more consistent rappers out here. People don't give him the credit that he's due. He's a beast. He's a legend. He's always came through with consistent, dope records. You know, as far as like, does he have classic albums? That's the thing that people always bring up. I like to say Veni Vidi Vici is a classic album. At least to me, it is. This is probably his better out of Pain and Love and 336. I do like, what is the album called? Rule, R-U-L-E. The joint that had Wonderful on it, the joint that had New York on it, the joint that had the crazy joints with Lloyd, because him and Lloyd have really good chemistry. But I like Ja's first album if we're going to talk classics. And you got to remember, he wrote Can I Get a Fuck You? And that was his song. He gave it to Jay so Jay could pop. Like, Ja's done a lot for a lot of rappers. He gave Mary J a dope record as well. He's done some really dope things writing for people in this industry. So I think people should give him his credit where it's due. This album was banging all over the place. Everybody I knew was bumping Pain is Love. They didn't stop until 50 Cent came out. So...
Yeah, man. Old heads, get at me if you want to. For what it's worth. For what it's worth, I still think he has the hits and everything like that. It's just when it comes to content, it's not quite my forte, but I do understand his imprint in the era at the time and what it means for today. So I'll know that much, just not for me.
If it wasn't no Ja, we wouldn't have all these Uzis and stuff doing what they do.
I don't care for all the Uzis, though.
I don't like them either. Ja did it way better. Ja did it way better. Final grade, man. Look, this is easy for me, man. I'm going to give it a check. I do feel like the skits are on the weaker side. But to me, when you actually sit down and you listen to Ja and he's spitting and him and Irv Gotti and Seven Aurelius, their chemistry is just untouchable. It sucked that all of that fell apart because of the Fed's investigation and everything. But for a minute, you got to remember Murder Inc. was running the game. It was Ja Rule and Ashanti killing everything. And they were Murder Inc. I mean, I know there was Black Child, there was Cadillac Ty Murder, whatever you want to call them, and there's all these other rappers, but it was pretty much Ja Rule and Ashanti. There was Nas for like 2 seconds, and then he left. He signed and then left, but they had the game on lock, and they had everybody singing along to their joints. You throw those joints on at any party, and you're going to see people, so I'm talking about the Thuggish dudes. Where would I be without my baby?
And I think that's the only reason I'm giving it a dash, because of moments like that, it's just, it's in there, it's in the middle and everything like that. And, I still recognize the significance and everything like that. But at the end of the day, will I be listening to a full Ja Rule project? No, I'm just going to be listening to the singles. Just keeping it real.
Where would I be without my baby?